Namaste everyone and welcome back to my channel Sapna's Yoga Diary. In this video, I am going to share what questions were asked to me when I was giving my yoga teacher and evaluator exam conducted by YCB. So this video is going to be very helpful for people who are preparing for the practical exams for YCB, be it protocol instructor or wellness instructor or yoga teacher and evaluator exam, because even though the questions will differ, who knows, you may get the same question, or even if the questions would differ, you will get to understand the pattern of the questions, that what kind of questions will be asked. So in that way it is going to be very helpful. So yeah, without any delay, let's start the video. So the practical exam which is conducted by YCB, it is a panel interview. So in our panel there were 4 interviewers. So there were 4 teachers who were asking questions and there were 4 students who were being interviewed. So it was a panel interview, and the first question was common to all. They asked us to chant Om, begin the session basically. They gave us the hypothetical situation that you are in a class and you are beginning the session. So how would you start? How would you start with Om chanting and the mantra? So they did not give any particular mantra as such, but they told us that whichever mantra you know or you start your class with, you can choose that mantra and demonstrate, show us. So that was the first question, and in one of my previous videos I already told you that having mic is very important, because here when you chant Om, the voice should be audible to you. Okay, generally if you do not use microphone, the voice when you chant Om or any mantra, it may not be audible. Like in one of the student's case, what happened, he was using the mic but he did not test it properly, so his voice was not audible to the interviewers at all. And there was another student who was not using mic, and when she was chanting Om, her chanting was getting cut. Okay, so suppose I am answering this question now. Listen to me, I am using mic and I'm going to chant Om to you. You will hear that Om chanting is very clearly audible when you are using microphone. Just listen to me carefully. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। शांतिः शांतिः शांतिः। So that is how I chanted my mantra, and that is how I started. So this starting is very important. So make sure you have a good quality mic so that your chanting is properly audible, because as you remember, as you know, the first impression, makes a very big impact. It's very important. First impression is last impression, and it will create an impression of you on the teacher's mind, the interviewer's mind. So the way you chant Om, the way you chant mantra will make it clear to interviewer that whether you take the classes, whether you are capable of leading the class or not. Because a good start is very important for the session. So that was the first question, common to all. And after that, the second question was, of course, related to Shatkarma. This was also common to all the students who were there in the interview. I think there are not 4, 5 students were there. So they asked each of the student that, do you practice Shatkarma? And if yes, which of the practices do you practice? So when it came to me, I said that I practice Vamandhoti, I practice Sutra Niti, Jal Niti. So what they did is, after listening to the first few practices that you will tell, they will add another question to it. So the moment I said Sutra Niti, then they asked me again that, okay, do you practice Sutra Niti? How do you practice Sutra Niti? What do you use for Sutra Niti? Do you use catheter or do you use Sutra? So I said I use Sutra. So they asked me, how does this Sutra looks like? So I told them it is a cotton cord. It is a cord made up of cotton threads. So half of the cord is wax coated, and the half of the cord is loose threads. Another question of Sutra Niti they asked me was, what was the dimension, what was the length of the sutra that you used? So honestly, I didn't remember that. I didn't know that. So I said that I know the dimension, but I don't know what exactly is the length. So they asked me, can you show us how lengthy it is? So I just told them that it's just around this much of length. So because I did not know the dimension accurately, they gave a smile to me, because they knew that I do know, but I don't know the actual measurement. But if this question will be asked to you, do tell them that it is 6 inches approximately. This is the dimension which is given in Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So yeah. And then after that they asked me, Griva Shakti Vikasa Kriya, the demonstration of Griva Shakti Vikasa Kriya. So in Griva Shakti Vikasa Kriya, please remember one thing, that the Griva Shakti Vikasa Kriya that I have demonstrated in my video, it is the actual demonstration of how Swami Dhirendra Brahmachari has demonstrated Griva Shakti Vikasa Kriya in his videos and in his book Yogic Shukshma Vyayam. So he has basically moved his head very fast and with normal breathing. But what happens these days is, the neck is very sensitive. So when you are starting any class, you should not instruct the students to move the head vigorously with the jerky movement. So because you do not know the condition, the stiffness of the student. So when you are teaching the students, the instruction should go like this. So you will tell them to move the head as with the breath movement, like inhale in the center, exhale on the side, this way. This is Griva Shakti Vikasa Kriya 1. This is 2. This is 3. And in the 4th one, they basically contract and relax the neck. When you contract, the collarbones will be accentuating. So mostly they will ask you Griva Shakti Vikasa Kriya 1, 2 and 3. The 4th one was not asked. So when you are when you will be asked Griva Shakti Vikasa Kriya, you will show the one that I showed you, the movement with the slow movement using the breath. Now, after this, they asked us to demonstrate Sarvang Pushti. Sarvang Pushti video, if you are not familiar what is the Sarvang Pushti, I have its video on my channel. You can go and watch how Sarvang Pushti is done. After that, they asked us Surya Namaskar. They asked all of us to show the Surya Namaskar, and I think they asked us to do 1 round of Surya Namaskar. So remember, 1 round of Surya Namaskar, when you do, cover both the sides, right and left, both. Lot of teachers teach half cycle as 1 cycle. But traditionally, if you see, 1 cycle of Surya Namaskar cover both the side. So 1 cycle of Surya Namaskar will not have 12 postures, it will have 24. Other half will also be covered. So this is one thing, and when you are doing Surya Namaskar, always remember that the traditional Surya Namaskar does not have the plank pose. Plank pose, there are a lot of teachers who add plank pose in the Surya Namaskar, and there is nothing wrong about it. There is a lot of modification done in the Surya Namaskar practice, and adding plank pose is one of it. But understand one thing, in that panel there could be some old teachers as well, and sometimes old teachers are very adamant, and they prefer to keep the old practices as it is. They do not appreciate modification of the practices. So in my opinion, if you are demonstrating Surya Namaskar, demonstrate the traditional version of Surya Namaskar. If you're not aware of it, in the traditional Hatha Yoga Surya Namaskar, there is no plank pose. It's given in Asana Pranayama Mudra Bandha book also. And if you're not sure, I also have a video on traditional Surya Namaskar. You can go refer it. And along with Surya Namaskar, they asked me to chant the first few mantras of Surya Namaskar. So, Om Mitraya Namaha, Om Ravaye Namaha, Om Suryaya Namaha, Om Bhanave Namaha, Om Khagaye Namaha, Om Pushne Namaha. So these are the first 6 Surya Namaskar. They asked me first 5 Surya Namaskar, or I think 6. First 6 Surya Namaskar mantras, and to the other student they asked last 5 Surya Namaskar mantras. So they can either ask the first 5, first 6, last 3, last 6 Surya Namaskar mantras. They did not ask anyone the meaning of Surya Namaskar mantras, but to us they did not ask, but they may. So just stay prepared with the meaning of mantras also. After Surya Namaskar, then the section of asanas came, and they asked us to demonstrate Vrikshasana. They asked us to demonstrate Parshvakon They asked me to demonstrate Chakrasana. So yeah, so these 3 asanas they asked, and to some they also asked the counter pose. So stay prepared with the counter pose of asanas. For example, the counter pose of Paschimottanasana is Purvottanasana. The counter pose of Ushtrasana is Shashankasana. So you have to remember the counter pose, if there are any counter pose related to any asanas. After that, they asked me about Mahamudra. They asked me that what are the 3 mudras, what are the 3 mudras which are added in Mahamudra. So they did not ask the demonstration. They asked it as a question that when you do Mahamudra, what are the 3 mudras, what are the 3 things that are included in Mahamudra. So when you do Mahamudra, there is Khechari Mudra, there is Shambhavi Mudra, and there is Mulabandha. So these 3 things are done in Mahamudra. After that, they asked what is sectional breathing. So I demonstrated them what is sectional breathing. I also have a video on when you say sectional breathing, as the name suggests, breathing in sections. So there is chest breathing, which is also known as thoracic breathing. There is belly breathing or abdominal breathing. There is clavicular breathing, that is breathing via collarbones. So these 3 are basically covered under sectional breathing. So when you are doing the belly breathing, you are breathing only through the belly. The chest and collarbones are not involved. When you are breathing through the chest, the movement happens only in the chest area. The belly is not engaged. When you do the breathing via collarbones, that means only this part is engaged. The belly and the chest are not engaged. So these are the 3 practices which are covered under sectional breathing, and I was asked to demonstrate it. I have a video on sectional breathing, individual chest breathing, belly breathing as well. I don't think I have a video on clavicular breathing. So clavicular breathing is a breath where we are in a very stressful situation, because it is only reaching till here, it is not going deeper. So it's like, no, I am doing it consciously, you see, only collarbones are moving up. Okay, it is not even reaching the chest area totally. So when the chest breathing is there, it's like, and when you are totally in the relaxed state, then the belly breathing happens. Let me show you now, because I've showed you chest breathing and clavicular breathing. Let me show you the belly breathing. So this is my belly. Now see how my belly moves. So you see, belly is moving like this. The chest movement was not happening at all. See it carefully. So there was no movement happening in the chest. Now you see I'm moving the chest. The belly will not be moved at all. Okay, so this is the difference, belly breathing, chest breathing, and then breathing via collarbones. So this is sectional breathing. After sectional breathing, they asked me about the pranav jap. They asked me what is pranav jap. So pranav jap is basically om chanting. And then they asked me why it is known as pranav jap, why om chanting is known as pranav jap. And this is the question for which I did not have answer. Honestly, I did not know it then. So I told them frankly that I don't know this answer. So they said okay. But now because I have to make a video, I researched, and today I know why pranav jap is known as the om chanting. So pranav, basically pranav mantra is the primordial sound of the universe. Okay, primordial meaning the sound which has been there from the very beginning of the time. Okay? From the very beginning, this sound is there in the universe. And scientific research has shown that the sound of the universe is nothing but it sounds like Om. So that is why the pranav jap, the sound of universe, is the sound of Om. And if you see in they have been interchangeably used in the yogic texts, like in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali has clearly written to meditate on the mantra Om to realize the self. For self-realization, repeatedly chant Om, meditate on Om. On the other hand, if you see Hatha Yoga Pradipika, the author has clearly written the same thing, but he's saying to meditate on pranav jap, and meditate ajapa japa repeatedly. So they both are saying the same thing, referring to the same element, that repeat, meditate on Om, meditate on the pranav jap. So that's how we know that pranav jap is Om chanting. So next question which they asked me is, they asked me the author of Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So the author of Hatha Yoga Pradipika is Swami Swatmaram. Swatmaram, yes. After that, they asked me the technique that I use for meditation. They asked me whether I meditate or not. They will ask you also first thing, that whether you meditate or you don't. So I do meditate, and they asked me then which form of meditation, how do you meditate. So I told them that I practice Vipassana. I have completed to Shivir of Vipassana, and that is what I practice. And then they said that because Vipassana is out of the syllabus, they did not ask me any further question on meditation. After that, they wanted to, they also asked me one question, that what are the benefits of Bhadrasan as per Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So the, yeah, benefits of Bhadrasana as per Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So I didn't remember it then. I did read Hatha Yoga Pradipika, but I was not able to recall, and I just said that it helps, it is, it eradicates all the diseases. That's all I knew. And I said that it helps in pregnancy, for normal delivery of pregnancy. This is one of the benefit of Bhadrasan, but what was written in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, I did not know that. So in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it is written that it is one of the practices which, one of the asana which eradicates all the diseases, and it also removes the fatigue. So that was a question asked to me, and then to check, they asked me whether I take classes or not, and how do I take classes, where I take classes, and for how many years I have been teaching. So I gave all that details, and then they asked me if a person has high blood pressure, if a person has high sugar, if a person has sciatica, if a person is just having constipation as well, then how will I deal with that student in a group class? So I told them that if a student has multiple diseases as you cited, I will not entertain that person in a group class. I will recommend them the private session. So they asked me that private session. So is your fee for private session and your group session same? So I said no, it differs. Private session costs more than the group session, because in private session you are dealing with just one body, one person. So the class is customized as per the need of the student. So we charge more. So yeah, so these are the questions which were asked to me in my panel interview. Let me know how I performed in the interview session. There are few things that I will tell you which will be very helpful for you. One thing is when I was telling you that when they ask questions about Shatkarma, so they first what I had seen is they will first ask you one question, and then considering your answer they will ask you another question. So in my case, like when I said Sutra Niti, they asked me about Sutra Niti. If the interviewer asked somebody and they said that Kapal Bhati, they practice Kapal Bhati, their second question is what types of Kapal Bhati is there in Gheran Samhita. So they'll make the question, the second question, depending on what you answer for the first question. So when you are preparing, first question will be somewhere from Shatkarma. So make sure you you talk about the practices that you do, one, and two, you are very confident, you know everything about it. And yeah, the other thing is the first, that mantra chanting is very important. I will make a separate video on mantra chanting, and I will add the mantras that I chant in my class. You can pick any mantra and then you can chant. You can chant it. But whenever you are chanting a mantra, remember, we are not singers. But whenever you are chanting mantra with all your heart and dedication, it will sound very good to the ear. So prepare well for the chanting, because that is what you are going to start with in the interview. After that, I think, yes, another important thing is, whenever you are demonstrating an asana, remember, don't do it in hurry. Okay, because yoga is science and art in the way it is demonstrated. So there should be grace in the way you approach an asana. So the way you start an asana and finish it, there should be grace in the practice, there should be good command. And apart from that, I would just say that just show them confidence. They should be 100% sure that you are capable of leading a class of 20, 30, 50 students. And if they are convinced, they will definitely pass you. Thank you so much. If you still have any questions or doubts, you can put it in the comment box. I hope you like this video. I do take online yoga sessions for general fitness, well-being, therapy sessions. If you're interested, you can DM me on Instagram or Facebook. If you like this video, do give me a thumbs up. And yeah, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. Thank you so much. Namaste.